Oh, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back. Got a lot of things going here at the farm, but I've got one little project here that I'm going to spend a little bit of time on that I thought might be video worthy. So this is a little project that belongs to my uncle. This is a 1941 GMC pickup. I guess it's a pickup. It's a truck. It had a like a produce bed on it when he acquired it. It's all rotted away, and he's done a lot of work to it already. Spent some good hard-earned cash on getting this cab fixed up. As you can probably see, they started the process of wiring everything and kind of lost their head of steam. And this is kind of how the truck has set for the last probably 15 years. He had the wheels cut and welded to 15-inch rims, shortened the frame, moved the rear axle forward so that it could be put together as a pickup. This crate is just a bunch of parts that we have for the truck. Now you can probably see we got the front bumper there. It's in need of a little bit of attention. That's the hood, or half of it. But this is about the condition that most of this thing was in when he got it. It's got the cancer pretty bad. And to be quite honest, I considered seriously purchasing this truck from him and finishing it myself. But I'll be honest, it's just a little too nice. I kind of doubt that I have the patience required to finish the build in the manner in which it was started. This needs to go to somebody who's going to have the time and the funds and the desire to buy a new front clip and either buy or build a flatbed or something to put on the back. And I just don't think I've got the patience to do it. So we've got all the glass for the truck. It is a manual transmission. We've got a headliner. The seat has been redone. And we're going to put this thing up for sale. At least that's the plan as of today. But I want to hear it run. And I think it would be worth more to a potential buyer to be able to hear it run as well. So I don't have a ton of time to devote to this. Family requires my time right now. But I want to spend a week or so on this thing to tinker around with it and to make it run. And I don't think that should be hard to do. He's had it running before. He actually had the motor completely rebuilt. Obviously they upgraded it to an alternator as opposed to the old generator that used to be on there. It's had good coolant in it the whole time, so shouldn't be anything frozen or cracked. But I want to put a battery in this thing and I want to fire it up. I want to be able to make it run. I think that would be important for me if I was going to be the one buying it. And I think it would do a lot to reassure confidence for the person who would be in the market to finish this project. So it needs some work here. Let me unlatch the door. Needs the rest of the floorboard put in. Look at how tight that is. There is not a lot of leg room. This is how they were. This would be real tight seating arrangements for 3. Some nuts and bolts here for something. That teeny tiny little gearbox. I imagine that is the emergency brake, parking brake. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time on this. Like I said, not a lot. I don't even know if we'll worry about all the interior wiring right now. If I remember correctly, they had some issues with some of the interior wiring, that there may have been some sort of a problem there. Shamefully, this thing's been sitting down in my pole barn for about a year. And it was dusty when it got here, but it hasn't gotten any better in the last year. So we may actually just disconnect a lot of this wiring. Just kind of hot wire the thing to run. So we got a pink wire here going from the coil to the distributor. If we undo this, take this wiring off, we can actually connect a battery directly there, and then not have to worry about the wiring for the rest of the chassis and the cabin and everything else. So that's kind of the thought at this point. Kind of thinking we probably ought to roll the thing over for a while before we put spark to it. Make sure we've got good oil flow to everything, that it's well lubricated since it has been sitting for so long without running. Get some fluids into it. I guess if we could find it, we could put the crank on the pulley and roll it over that way. Oddly, one of the things that came up missing as we moved this thing up here was the crank. He had the actual crank to be able to crank the engine over by hand. So probably see a little bit of information there. GMC stampings. Yellow Truck and Coach Manufacturing in Pontiac, Michigan. 6 cylinders, made in the U.S. Be a really cool truck for somebody. That Fisher Coach. So they were probably the coach builder that built the body, outfitted the chassis. All manual steering, all manual brakes, of course. Power nothing on this one. But a cool truck nonetheless. So this is what I want to spend a little bit of time on. Like I said, just to be able to demonstrate that it will roll over, that it does fire, that it does run. May try and figure out a way to clean it up just a little bit without drenching the interior. Maybe I can put some plastic over the window openings or something, spray it off with a hose a little bit, and just try and clean it up a little, because it's pretty grody. But thought you guys might enjoy this little project. Thought we'd spend a little bit of time on this. I've got, like I said, lots of other projects, lots of other things that are demanding my time these days. But this will be a fun one. We'll spend a little time on this and see what kind of headway we can make. So that's it for now. Kind of the foreshadowing of things to come. We'll see what we can do on this thing. See if we can get it to make fire. Thanks for watching. I think I'm going to get to work.